And just look at that animal. Ooh, it's a feisty little monkey. What is your problem? Someone woke up on the wrong side of the cage today. Relax there, buddy. Hey!
Good morning.
Welcome
To the vlog.
I hope
You
have
and
Awesome
day.
What do you say we make this the most awesome day that we've ever had? As for me, I have a very busy business day, and that means that I have to pack a lot of animals today. I don't show a lot of packing animals, but we have a bunch of leopard geckos and a bunch of snakes going out, so that's going to take up a big portion of my day. Remember I talked to you guys about shipping out some adult leopard geckos? Well, we're shipping a big shipment of them out. Don't worry, we're still going to have some more available. If you want, you can still check out the website, but we do have a guy that took a big shipment of leopard geckos, which is going to take a lot of the pressure off of us having to find space for these guys. But that's my first task, and it's going to be a big task. You know, something I don't really cover a whole lot in the vlog, and even in Snake Bites, is really shipping. You know, I don't want anyone to ever get the impression that, oh, it's kind of brutal the way we ship, or not just the way we ship, but the industry standard for shipping. So, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. So basically, these leopard geckos are the ones that are going out, and these are adult females here, and the best way to ship them is literally in these deli cups. It's really safe for them because they don't, you know, intertwine with each other. Because again, geckos, if you put like say 4 or 5 in a container or in a bag, you know, they might fight on the way and actually drop each other's tails or something on that line. Whereas this is, and these have little holes in them, so you know it's very important if you're shipping any live animal that it has holes so they can breed, because they do breed. So we just basically put a little bit of paper towel on the bottom. We have, you know, these 8-ounce deli cups. We have nice lids. Everything's nice and secure. Then they go into a shipping box which has styrofoam so that it's climate controlled. If it's cold, we put heat packs. If it's hot, we put cold pack, and then we put, you know, packing paper in to make sure that they don't get jostled around. And literally, they're only in these containers for, you know, maybe 8 or 10 hours, 12 hours at the absolute most. It's kind of the perfect way to ship animals, and it's the safest way. And we ship thousands and thousands of packages. Rarely have a problem. So anyways, just figured I'd cover that weird topic with you guys. But for now, we gotta pack. You know, the truth is, I really hate shipping out animals. Now, it's not that I hate, well, I hate losing animals that I have an attachment to, and I have an attachment to so many of my animals. So literally, I have to almost shut it off to some extent. And what I mean by that is that I have to take the emotion out of it, because literally, even as we're packing these up, I'm like, this one looks really cool, we should keep this one. Oh, we should keep this one. And I can't keep, I have to get rid of them to replace them with other ones that are more awesome. So it's difficult. I don't like this part of it, and to be totally honest with you, most of the time I'm not very involved in this part of it, because when I do start packing animals, I get a little bit depressed, and I hate to see them go. But these are going to a great guy, a guy I've known for many, many years, and he's a really good guy. So I know they're gonna get a great home. They're gonna be being produced. You know, the babies will go to great houses. This guy's great. It's tough though, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, here's the deal, guys. This is that time in the vlog where I'm going to talk for the next probably 5 to 7 minutes about snakes, and I'm going to show you a bunch of snakes. So if you're into that, you're going to really like the next 5 to 7 minutes. If you're not into that, you're probably not going to like the next 5 to 7 minutes. So I'm going to start off showing, and this is going to be mainly ball pythons, because this whole row of ball pythons is just amazing. I was going through them today, and I'm like, I have to show you guys some of these things. So anyways, I'm just going to get going, and I'm going to start probably on the front side with a lot of banana stuff. This happens to be a banana cinnamon woma ball python. Now the banana gene, of course, is a codominant gene. The cinnamon gene is also codominant, and the woma is actually codominant, but the super version is actually lethal, which is a white snake. So it's really more like a dominant trait than anything, but it just makes for a really soothing, kind of smooth, why would I say soothing? Stop that! I'd say smooth. I mean, it's soothing to look at, but regardless, that's a really beautiful snake. This happens to be, oh my gosh, look at that snake! This is a banana motley bee. Ooh, doggy, that is a pretty snake. Now, a motley bee is actually a genetic stripe in a spider. The genetic stripe's recessive, the spider is dominant, and of course the banana we already talked about, but look at how beautiful that snake is. And again, I'm trying to show you snakes that I haven't showed before, although sometimes I forget and I re-show something else, but this animal is crazy. Look at that. That is a banana paradox. And of course, the banana gene is actually a pastel banana, but you know, pastel bananas and bananas look almost identical, a little bit more faded. But the paradoxing is those black spots on it. I mean, take a look at how crazy it is. But unfortunately, paradoxing in most cases is not a genetic trait. It's just a random kind of, you know, when the genes are going through, you know, things go crazy and some of the phenotype from another mutation bleeds through. There are a couple mutations out there that are genetically bred paradoxing type snakes, like the atomic. There's stuff in the Kenyan sand boas, but most of them are not that way. This is just a snake that this is one of my dream snakes, and I think that this is just amazing. This is actually a banana super chocolate ball python. Now, we had the very first chocolate ball pythons in the country, and the super chocolate is just really a really dark snake. But what makes me excited about this animal is that we can breed it into a pinstripe and produce something that's called a camo ball python. Now, the camo ball pythons are almost all brown with just one little stripe on it. So when you take the brown into a banana, it turns that purple color. You can certainly see it right there. And so a camo banana should be almost a solid purple snake with a yellow stripe on it. So that will be absolutely incredible. So that's the first step towards the purple Barney ball python.
Won't you say you love me too?
This is really a beautiful snake. This is actually a crystal spider ball python. Now, you know, the crystal gene is an interesting gene because it's actually a special ball python bred to a Mojave ball python. And when you breed it into the spider like this, it kind of fades it out a little bit, almost looks like a white snake, but you can see really faint patterning that makes it really beautiful. So I love the crystal stuff, and that's just, in my opinion, a really beautiful snake. Whoo, doggy, take a look at that ball python right there. This is actually an Enchi pewter banana. Now, the Enchi is a codominant gene that just with banana makes it absolutely gorgeous. And of course, the pewter is actually a pastel cinnamon ball python. And we've already talked about the banana stuff. So, man, that thing is just on fire. I tell you what, and speaking of fire, this happens to be, look at that thing right there. That actually is a fire black pastel banana ball python. Now, the black pastel is really similar to the cinnamon gene. It's like the difference between like Mojave and lesser, but in the cinnamon gene. And then, of course, the fire gene just really fades it out. And if you breed two fires together, you get the black-eyed leucistic with the white snake with the black eyes instead of the white snake with the blue eyes, or the white snake with the kind of head pattern and ivory sense. It gets so confusing, guys. Regardless, this is a fire black pastel banana. I just love that animal. And sticking with the fire gene, we might as well stick on that hot fire right now. Look at that animal right there. That's actually a Mojave fire orange dream. Again, the fire gene we just talked about. The Mojave is a blue-eyed leucistic producing animal. It's codominant, so the super version is a blue-eyed leucistic, but it has a little bit of a head pattern, unlike the super lesser that is pretty much solid white. And then, of course, that orange dream just makes things look really orange and beautiful and cleans it up a tremendous amount. So that is a animal that is truly on fire. Take a look at this one here. Woo-hoo! That is actually a lesser bee GHI ball python. So again, the lesser bee is actually a lesser, which is codominant, and then of course the spider would be the B part. So this is a spider lesser, and then the codominant GHI that is just making that really kind of dark splotchy look. I just think it's really cool because it almost looks like dark smudges on the animal or something like that. But I just love it. I love the things that GHI does, and I love the fact when it's mixed with lesser, it just is absolutely ridiculous. Take a look at this one here. Woo! That's a pretty animal here. This is actually a spider Mojave orange dream. And again, we kind of talked about all those genes already. The spider is a dominant gene or incomplete dominant gene. And then of course the Mojave, we already talked about, blue-eyed leucistic producer. And of course the orange dream is that beautiful color that just makes it nice and orange and clean and pretty looking. I mean, that thing is crazy. Just one step further. This is the exact same animal that we just saw, minus the spider gene and adding the pastel gene. So this is a Postavi, which is pastel Mojave orange dream. And just look at that animal. Ooh, it's a feisty little monkey. What is your problem? Someone woke up on the wrong side of the cage today. Relax there, buddy. What a beautiful snake though, huh? I mean, that thing is absolutely gorgeous. And again, that orange dream gene, it just absolutely enhances everything, makes it so pretty. It's ridiculous.
Orange, you glad I didn't say apple again?
As a matter of fact, we'll stick with another orange dream animal. This thing, I just love this animal. This is actually a pewter yellow belly Orange Dream. And again, we talked about the pewter being the cinnamon pastel. The yellow belly is the ivory producing animal, which is the white snake with the pattern on the head and black eyes. And then of course that Orange Dream just makes that orange sort of pop in that animal. Typically this would be more of a silvery gray animal, but you add that Orange Dream and it just changes the entire dynamic of that animal. I mean, that is absolutely incredible. How about this one here? This is actually a really pretty animal. Again, another enhancing gene. This happens to be a pastel super vanilla. So the vanilla gene is another one of those enhancing genes that just kind of brightens things up, much like the fire gene. As a matter of fact, when the vanillas first came out, everyone thought they were fires, but it turns out that the super isn't a black-eyed leucistic. It's actually a super vanilla that just gets really clean and really reduced, and it makes some great mutations. So I personally am really happy that it was two different genes, because if it was a fire gene, we wouldn't have all of the vanilla stuff that is really beautiful and certainly looks different than the fire stuff. And then that super vanilla, whew, that just really brightens it up. What the f is he talking about? Look at this guy here. Woo, doggy, that thing is so pretty. This happens to be that same gene, that vanilla gene, but this isn't a super vanilla. This is just a vanilla queen bee. Now the queen bee is actually a pastel lesser spider, and then of course you add that vanilla gene and it just adds another wrinkle to how beautiful that animal is. I mean, just take a look at that thing. That thing is gorgeous. And again, I always think, like, you know, when we started working with ball pythons, there was like, you know, normal ball pythons and a couple of minor mutations, and then the first, you know, pastels came into the country, the first ghosts came into the country. It was like, oh my God, it's like you have a couple genes. Next thing you know, there's a few more. Now it's like crazy. The amount of paint jobs is just absolutely sick out there. And speaking of sick, take a look at this animal right here. Whoo, doggy. That is one. This was actually one of my favorite snakes that I produced this last year. I mean, just take a look at that. That is actually a super enchy pinstripe lesser ball python. And again, you know, the super enchy is an enchy gene, which is a codominant gene that is another one of those enhancers that reduces pattern, brightens color, and then you get the lesser and the pinstripe together. And man, I mean, just take a look at that. That thing is on fire. I mean, it doesn't even look like a ball python anymore. And actually, this is just one step further. This is the exact same animal that I just showed you, but it's added the WOMA gene, which is, again, that gene that I talked about earlier that is a codominant mutation, but the super version is a lethal part, so you don't want to really do that. Blah, blah, blah. Take a look at this little guy here. This is, I'm going to end my ball python craziness with a super animal. Literally, a super animal. To be honest with you, this is a super pastel, super cinnamon. So the super cinnamons actually are like a solid brownish black snake, and the super pastel obviously is just really beautiful. But this is actually a super, and it's also a pinstripe, which cleans it up even more. So take a look at how gorgeous that animal is. Again, I just love it. And listen, I could go on for another hour here, guys, but I know that pretty soon you guys are gonna be like, all right, I'm tuning into the vlog to see other stuff, not just him talking about ball pythons all day. I always gotta every now and then just get excited about ball pythons. I hope you guys have enjoyed this segment of the vlog. Now, back to our normal day. And if by normal you mean surrounded by tens of thousands of snakes, then that would be normal for me. As a matter of fact, I'm not quite done showing you snakes. I promise I'm only showing 2 snakes right now, but I walked by this rack and I was just like, oh my God, I gotta show these animals because they are absolutely gorgeous and I have to share them with you. Take a look at that right there. That is a gray banded king snake. That is just absolutely gorgeous. And these guys range from West Texas and they're just such an amazing animal. I used to work with tons of these and I kind of got rid of them because they were a little bit difficult to feed as babies, and I really regret it. So we're raising some more up because they're absolutely incredible. Probably one of the most shocking animals in my opinion. I mean, when people see a gray banded king snake, they're just like, oh my gosh, that thing is absolutely gorgeous. Another really cool animal that I should really show more often are these Kenyan samboas, but this happens to be a striped Kenyan samboa. Now the striping actually comes, believe it or not, from a subspecies which is called Rufuscans bred into the Kenyan samboas. They are kind of different, but they're really similar animals when the Rufuscans and the Kenyans. So when you breed them together, you get that striped animal. And then it does breed true. When you breed that stripe to a normal Kenyan, half the babies come out striped, which is pretty cool. So the more generations we get into Kenyan, the less of the Rufuscans gene pool in there, which is really good. Because I'm not against hybrid snakes. I really am not, because these animals are being produced for captivity. They're not being re-released in the wild. As long as people are representing them properly. It's when things get muddy, it kind of bums me out because I like to be honest about what we're selling. Okay, that was an awful lot of talk talking. I just wouldn't shut up. I just kept going. Let me know down in the comments if you like that kind of stuff. I mean, you like it when I just go off on a snake rampage for 10 or 12 minutes and just start going. That's what I get excited about. You know, it's really cool. So let me know down below. I mean, you know, I love showing you guys stuff with me and Lori and Noah and the crew and all the other stuff. And I love taking you guys on amazing adventures, which, by the way, we have some really cool stuff coming up. More on that maybe tomorrow or the next day. But I also love talking to you guys about snakes. So let me know what you think. Did you like that last forever long it was? Or do you prefer me to just Brian, just shut up and get on with your day? Okay, a couple things really quick. Number one, Lori, I wanted to tell you something. Why every time I say to say something, you close your eyes like it's terrible? Remember the little clicker Sharpies so that I don't write on my hands? I love it, by the way. Thank you so much. But you know what, Lori, posed another problem. Because now my hands, well, pretty much are clean, although there's a little bit on it. But
oh my God. Look at your pants.
When I put it in my pocket, I keep on writing on my pants. So what do you think?
So that's not a good idea. Don't stick it in your pants. Look, you drew a drawing.
I know, there's a whole bunch of... Will that come out of my pants? What happens when I stick it back in, I sometimes forget to click it.
Not sometimes, a lot of times.
I know. So anyways, I wanted to show you that. And Noah, you said that I have something here.
I don't know what it could be. Here, you can read the note.
Okay, so this is like a really quick mail time. My name is Damien. Watch your vlogs and snake bites. Absolutely envy your job. What you do is amazing, and I always wanted to do it. Not the vlogging, but breeding and creating amazing animals. It took me a good month and a half to draw it. I hope you like it. So, all right, Damien, a month and a half. That's crazy. Let's see this thing. Oh, it's got some detail, huh? It's got, oh my gosh, look at it. So it's the head and face of Sunshine, and look at all those scales. That's awesome, huh? And it says, in loving memory of Sunshine. Ah, look at that, so cool. Ah, Damien, that is awesome. That is a lot of detail, Thank you so much, Damien. That's cool, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. That's some super detail. And thank you so much for taking so long. You think Lori's cool?
Yeah, it's very cool.
I know, well, you guys are always so great to us. Lori loves her sprinkles. My pants are getting marked up by the markers you sent. It cost us $200 for the betas that we got for... No, you guys are amazing. Seriously, you brighten every day when you guys send me stuff. It's absolutely crap. Send some stuff to Noah. Noah, what do you want?
I don't need anything
You don't need anything.
except for subscribers.
Oh yeah, so make sure you subscribe to Bad Choice Noah, the YouTube channel. Like I said, collab's coming soon. Next week we're heading to California. We're gonna collab with a bunch of people, and videos will be on his channel, Bad Choice Noah. You guys are amazing. I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in today. You guys are just incredible. Let's just make sure today is absolutely awesome. Do me a favor and smash that like button and hit that notification bell. Be kind to somebody. I promise I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow.